Okay, we are on the east side of the structure on the north side of the fence. So we've got this large wood pile. Um, this is conducive to wood destroying insects. It's conducive to snakes. It's conducive to rats. Okay, this is just a mess. This is a trouble waiting to happen. This is called a control joint. Some people call them expansion joints. Call it what you will, but this allows the structure to move. It's kind of like the control joints, the expansion joints as you see in the street. You don't have this much brick in North Texas and not expect to have some movement. Now it's nice and dark in there, and I originally identified it as being missing, but now under closer scrutiny I can see that we do have some kind of a backer rod in there or something, but I'm also seeing some cracks in there. It should be resealed. This siding lasts about 14 years. This home is older than 14 years. So we're going to see some issues with the siding. Can it be extended? I mean, you can extend it. You can do that. But just know that we've been having repairs. We're experiencing failure, and its days are numbered. Its days are numbered. Now, brick is a very good building material. Okay, it's a great insulator. There's a yellow jacket. It's a great insulator. Okay, and it's maintenance free, except for a little. Every once in a while, you might need to repoint it or something, unless you paint it. If you paint it, then you've taken a maintenance free or a low maintenance system and caused it to be a routine maintenance system. So do what you will do. I know it's very popular these days to paint them white and put black roofs on and all that stuff. Do what you do, but just let me, just as a courtesy, as a maintenance tip, painting this will change the characteristic of the brick and cause it to be maintenance. Now this it's a very good insulator. This home could burn down and you could reuse the brick. That's how hardy and how good it is. And architecture is regional, and in this part of the country we like to use our brick. Another characteristic of brick is that it's very porous and water can just seep right through it. And that's why around the foundation perimeter, actually a lot of places, but around the foundation perimeter today, we have weep holes. Those little holes are there for a reason. They're there for a design. Most of the time you won't see anything happen. It'll just be water vapor. But behind this brick, if the house is built properly, we've got a vapor barrier. So when the moisture comes through, because we know what brick is, because we build regionally, and we know what's going to happen with the brick, so we install a vapor barrier behind the brick. The brick is a cladding. This is a wood frame house. The brick is a cladding. We have a vapor barrier behind the brick, and then the water vapor, okay, moisture barrier, water, okay. Then we have it comes out the weep holes. So a drainage plane. I lost myself. Now we see these around the foundation because that disrupts the drainage plane. The water runs from the brick, behind the brick, to where the drainage plane has been disrupted, and then we have our weep holes. Now when we install windows, and these windows are supporting brick, okay, we've disrupted the drainage plane just like we did down here. So above our lintels are supposed to have weep holes. And our lintels are metal, holding up the brick nice and strong. Alright, our lintels should be painted to help prevent them from rusting and corroding, because when metal rusts and corrodes, it gets weaker. And when metal rusts, it expands. And when the metal expands, it's going to cause your brick to crack. And the whole idea was to keep this from not cracking. So our lintels should have been painted. Okay, now we come over here, and that's hail damage. All right, impact marks. See this on the glazing strips? These little plastic strips right there. You see that? All right, that's impact marks. That's damage. Now, see these little stains on our muntins right there? That means our vapor barrier has been compromised. Okay, so we've lost our seal. It was either a vacuum, or maybe it was a nitrogen-filled window. I don't know. Most of them are vacuum. A lot of people feel like but it doesn't matter. It works the same either way. But when you lose your seal, then the nitrogen escapes, or you lose your vacuum. And nature abhors a vacuum, so it's replaced by air, and there's humidity in air, and then our windows start fogging. You will not notice. I know some home inspectors will swear, you're going, okay, now you're going to lose your energy, but you won't be able to measure it. You will not realize that. It's not going to manifest on your bill. You're not going to lose any security. It's ugly. It's ugly, and the Texas Real Estate Commission deems this a deficiency. That is broken. Your seal is broken. So we've got a whole lot. Most of your window vapor barriers have been compromised. You might want to think about that. These are double pane metal frame windows, but you might want to think it's time. It's just time to replace windows. Just like it's time to replace the siding. And this siding looks pretty good here, so I kind of hate telling you that. We've also got soffit vents. Okay, so I'm going to be looking towards something when we get into the attic. We're going to be looking for that. So we're moving on along, and we're moving on along, and we're coming over here. And then what's happening is, see that horizontal bar under there? It didn't come that way. Our vertical trim boards came that way, but you don't see a horizontal bar here, right? But you do see one down there. Now I put my horizontal bar on to hide wood rot. That's what I did at my house. There might not be wood rot behind here, but I didn't have a horizontal bar. I had a little trouble with my loan. They said you got to do something about it. I put that little board underneath there. Everybody's happy. But I know what's behind my horizontal bar next to the patio. And I know another reason why I know it was added is because this siding is supposed to be a gap underneath it. Okay, a vacuum breaker, a break, so that water doesn't wick up inside of it and rot it like it was rotted already. So this board, this horizontal bar, is too close to your patio. Why is that? Storm doors are beyond the scope of this inspection. Moving on along, we got rusty lintels. We do not have vapor barriers. And I'm going to speak to this once. I'm going to speak to it twice. But our patio cover comes over here and attaches to the wall. All I see is these little drivers. I do not see lag bolts. I do not see lag bolts holding the patio cover up properly. Okay? Coming on along, I got some more of that custom trim board. We go all the way around. Yeah, we did. We made it look nice. No vacuum breaker. Custom trim board. This is all swelling. This is all swelling from moisture. Look at this. Swelling from moisture, swelling from moisture. Now, speaking of moisture, let's look at our patio cover here for a little bit. I'm going to have a whole video to the patio cover after I see the roof, because I have suspicions. This is your fireplace chimney. Okay, this is your fireplace chimney chase. So you got a nice big fireplace, and you got one chimney, and instead of doing them two, they kind of did it asymmetrical to kind of make that look nice. And it comes up there, and then your chimney chase penetrates the roof covering and goes on up to the top of the house, and that looks nice. And then we come over here with a patio, and we didn't really want to look at a bunch of shingles over here. Okay, we wanted to look built in. We wanted to look custom. And there's some of the flashing from the old chimney right there. Okay, but see these stains right here? Those are water stains. How do you get water stains? From water? Well, that's where it comes from. Yeah, that's where water stains come from. Huh. Wonder how that happened. I don't know. Again, rusty lintel missing. Again, fogging windows. This is a good thing. I like to say this. This little cap right here. This is your fresh air. Well, kind of good. This is your fresh air induction, so your fireplace can breathe and burn. Okay, it's supposed to be down by the fireplace. So many times they're not. This one's located fine. But you know what else about it? It's all cracked and broken. Okay, so it's about time for a new one of those Dumahachis. You can look that up in the construction dictionary, Dumahachis. Okay, so you need a new hood. You need a new hood. That screen's torn pretty good, but all of them really are. And then we got signs of, again, impact damage. This home has experienced some hail. There's no doubt about it. I haven't even been on the roof yet. Okay, this is a kick out for the primary bedroom. We've got some wood rot up here and wood rot down here. Okay, why do we have so much wood rot? Well, and we got our fogging windows. All right, why we got so much? Okay, this arch, the top of this arch, it's fine. All right, I mean, it's not beautiful, but it's fine. But see the tops of these side windows, these side lights? Okay, there should have been Z-bar flashing installed that goes behind the siding and then comes out and over, makes a little cap over this to prevent it from doing this. That rust right there, we're trying to avoid that. Look at that. No, 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 no. Okay, let's back up a little bit. Maybe we can get a clue about the patio just from here. Okay, there are chimneys coming down. You see all that wood rot in there? See all that wood rot in there? Is that where the water's coming from? It goes in that wood rot right there. Goes in that wood rot right there and comes down. And I still haven't looked at the top of the chimney. And speaking of wood rot, remember I was talking about the side? Okay, the horizontal bar. What do you think that horizontal bar is there for? I know what it's there for. That horizontal bar is there because we had cancer. We had wood rot all the way down there. Okay, and we're going to prolong this 14-year siding. We're going to make it last a little longer. We added that little bar over there when we painted the house. That's what we did. Okay, anytime a vertical wall meets the drainage plane, see how the water's running off of that? Anytime it meets the drainage plane, we're supposed to have kick-out flashing. Kick-out flashing directs the water over here, unfortunately over your window that's rotting because it doesn't have the right type of flashing. But if this window had the right kind of flashing, that had the right kind of flashing, things would be looking a little better. They would be. And then over here I can see, maybe I can get out of the sun a little bit. I can show you another place. Actually, that looks like a repair. Okay, I thought that was a rain gutter downspout on the roof, but it's not. There's a roof repair right up there. I don't know if you can see it. I'll try and get a picture of it. Coming on along. These are our back faucet. The front faucet we're going to save. Okay, we got other plans for the front faucet. This is where we're going to check the water pressure. While we're along here, if a retaining wall is less than 4 feet high, you do not have to have a permit for it. And we've put up as a faux kind of ad hoc retaining wall over here on this side of our property, where we added railroad ties. Railroad ties last about 14 years. These railroad ties have lasted longer than that. In fact, they're not lasting at all. Okay, so coming over here, you see this right here? This is called a shrinkage crack. All right, some people call them corner pops. Call it what you will. That has no effect on your foundation. Okay, it might hold up a brick or two. I gotta call it a deficiency because it's a crack. Okay, a couple of different reasons. If we were doing a wood destroying insect inspection, and we're not doing a wood destroying insect inspection, but if we were, termites can use that void to gain entrance into your structure, into your home. They sure can, they will, they do. I would be required to call that a conducive condition for wood destroying insects if we were doing that kind of a report. But it doesn't hold up your bricks. What happens is your brick and your foundation, for various reasons, expand and contract at different rates. And brick is always in a constant state of growth, which you will never ever measure. And concrete is in a constant state of shrinkage, which you will never be able to measure. But that pressure is real, and it comes out and then it manifests itself at the corners. And then the brick and the concrete and the parge coat, okay, that parge coat right there, they all expand and contract, react to the environment, temperature, heat, different types of heat, okay, absence of heat, moisture, they react to the environment at different rates. And again, it always manifests itself at the corner. So that's not a real big foundation issue. It might be a brick issue, it might be an aesthetic issue, and it might be a termite issue. So what we have around here is a parge coat. It's a nice smooth parge coat. It's kind of like a cake frosting. Just because the cake frosting is cracked doesn't mean your foundation is cracked. That one is, but just because it's cracked doesn't mean it's cracked. It's an aesthetic issue. But parge coat allows termites to come up underneath it. Okay, just like this little form board. Okay, right here. It's not really a form board. It's an expansion. It's called an expansion board. Perfectly legal, conducive to wood destroying insects, especially as it's related to there. Our electric disconnect for our condensing unit, we're going to have a whole condensing unit video. Don't worry, we have a whole condensing unit video. But this box should have been sealed on 3 sides. And then coming on along, this is a diverter. It's a nice little diverter so the water doesn't come off. What I haven't seen so far, I'm still looking for. I don't know where the evaporator coil is, but I have not seen an evaporator coil drain pipe. And that rot looks pretty good over there. Sure does. Okay, we're wandering around on the west side of the house. Our fence. Fence is beyond the scope of this inspection. But we're missing our caps, or some of our caps. You think water will go inside of there? I do. You think it'll pond down there? I do. You think it'll corrode your post? I think it's bound to corrode your post. We got a missing one over there. We got a missing one over there. Our pickets are all warped like crazy. How long do fences last? Well, they last about 14 years. They last about as long as the siding. Okay, has this fence lasted 14 years? This fence is giving you everything you could ever expect it to give. It's only going to look worse. This siding, okay, that siding right there, okay, it's given us, it's given up everything it was supposed to do. It's done its job. This is as good as it's ever going to look. You might scrape it, you might paint it, it might last a week or a month or 2 months. So you could improve it. You could put some wood putty in there. You could work on it. But no, it is time. It is time. We do not have, what do we not have? We do not have our Z-bar flashing over our primary bedroom suite window. This window fogging, you bet it is. See all that little water in there? Yeah, we're fogging. Think water can get in here? I do. Think water can jump right off in there. Is it rotting? Sure is. Okay, so we got a little problem there too. This is the water heater temperature pressure. I'm making an assumption. This is the water heater temperature pressure relief valve drain pipe termination point. And it is supposed to discharge towards the ground like it is. And it's supposed to discharge between 3 and 6 inches, which it is. But what I don't see is a safety pan. I don't see a safety pan drain pipe. I see this pipe. That's the only pipe I see. Coming along here, I see the porridge coat. Okay, coming through the fence. Yeah, we're fencers. Okay, more porridge coat. This is the electric loads. This is the electric meter. We do not have a load center. We do not have an electric meter. We don't have an emergency disconnect out here. We got a single grounding rod. Now, 8-foot grounding rod. How far is it supposed to be buried? 8 feet. Oh. Well, how about 7 foot 6 inches? No, it's supposed to be buried 8 feet. It's not buried like it's supposed to be. Okay. Coming along, this is more of the retaining wall I was telling you about. I hate to call it a retaining wall, but yeah, it's time for this. Who owns this? Well, I do not do surveys. Surveys are beyond the scope of my inspection. I don't know who owns this. It might be a shared wall. Okay, but generally speaking, the high ground owns the retaining wall. The retaining wall belongs to whoever's land, whoever's ground, whoever's property it's retaining. It's for the purpose of the high ground. So I don't know whose it is. I don't do surveys. Just kind of letting you know. Still with me? Okay. Coming on along. Okay, then we got another corner right there. Okay, we got any wood rod right in here? Yeah, we got some wood rod in here. Just a little bit. Got a little bit of wood rod right there. We got some separation between our vertical casement. We sure do. Got some right over here. Should our lights, our exterior light fixtures be sealed? Okay, yeah, they should be sealed. Got a little bit of movement right there. Got a little bit of repair right there. Then always on the west side. We got a little bit of separation right there. We sure do. Got a little wood rod. Always on the east side. We got a little wood rod right there. Yeah, we do. There's another shrinkage crack. Some people call them corner pops. Call it what you will. Okay. Now coming over here, this is kind of interesting for us. This is a rain gutter, and it's supposed to take the rain gutter to the downspout, and the downspout does not take the water far enough away from the structure. But that's not the whole show. Look at here. This rain gutter is tilting towards the front portico, or the front porch. Call it what you will. Pointing towards it. Okay? Is the water going to go uphill to go down this drain? No, it's not. The water's going to collect right in there. Okay, we're moving on in our front portico. Again, storm doors are beyond the scope of this inspection, but we got a little bit of a loose, it doesn't show when the door is open, but we got a little loose trim right up in there. We do not have our, this one was sealed. This one was sealed. It's time to be resealed, but it was sealed. But we got another fogging window, another fogging window. Oh, I didn't count that one. Okay, well, I'll have to add that to the list. Now, when we have exterior receptacles like this, I'm not going to trip it because there's a lot of storage in the garage. So, you know, don't start no trouble, there won't be no trouble. It should be GFCI protected. I expect it to be GFCI protected. I can't tell you that the GFCI protection is working. So, but we should have in-use covers here. What's an in-use cover? It's like a bubble cover. See, where it is right now, you can plug in your Christmas lights, and then it rains, and rain gets all in there. Okay, so what we should do is have an in-use cover. You open this little helmet, this little bubble, you plug it in, and then you close it back up. It's sealed up, and then you can have your inflatable Santa out there. Where do termites live? In the ground. Huh. What do they eat? Dead wood. Huh. What's wood mulch?